Thank
Okay,
you.
you people, everybody, Will and everybody here. So happy to see everyone. So let's for 30 little minutes, it's kind of put a few imprints in our mind. Something virtuous, something positive, something optimistic, something active. So remembering that our body doesn't meditate. We're very obsessed with our bodies. As Lama Yesi says, we make the body the boss. And we identify ourselves as our body, you know. So if the body feels good, we think everything's wonderful. So we think if we sit for 30 minutes and the body felt nice, we'll say we had a nice meditation. Well, that's ridiculous because the mind meditates. The body needs to be in an appropriate position, you know. So just for the sake of reminding us, all the great yogis over the centuries have found, you know, certain parts, certain pieces, certain bits of the body to be in a certain position is most conducive for the mind to do its job properly. So if we can, as the Dalai Lama says, if we can sit in the full lotus position, that's really auspicious. It's even for a second, because in the more advanced meditations, we need a bit, apparently we need to be able to sit eventually in that position, you know. But if we can just for a second, he said, to start your session. If not, that's fine. Have one leg up on the other thigh, okay. If not that, just cross-legged. If not that, sitting in a chair, whatever works. So the first point is the legs, and if you are sitting cross-legged, then it's you find the appropriate position. But it's really good. Then a cushion for your bottom is ideal. You know, if you've got very flexible legs, then just to have something underneath the coccyx to sort of prop you up a little bit, thrust you slightly forward. You know, if you're in a chair, what's important is you don't slump in the back of the chair. You hold yourself up. That's important, because if we slump, then the subtler energies in our mind connected to the wind energies in our body, that it becomes dull. You know, so keep your body upright. Shoulders relaxed, upright but relaxed. But as soon as we put our body upright, we then get tense. So keep your body upright but relax the muscles. It's a good combination. The hands, if you like, in this classical position, the prayer, the meditation mudra or gesture, if you want to do, left underneath, right on top, thumbs touching, or just in your lap. In your lap or just relaxing as you wish. You know, there's many positions. So that's your legs, your bottom, your back, your shoulders. Well, kind of your back and your shoulders, one thing. But I added the one about keeping your muscles relaxed, especially your abdomen. Relax the muscles. Then there's your head. Several points. Jaw relaxed, slightly sort of tilted forward. Your chin slightly tucked in, not head thrust back. That makes the mind agitated. Slightly tucked in. Jaw relaxed. And then lips slightly apart. And then the tongue, it always seems very weird, but there's logic to it, just behind the top teeth, resting near the palate. And all the great meditators have found that it prevents you from having to dribble. It's very practical. All of it's very practical. And then your eyes. Breathe through your nose, if you can. And then your eyes, beneath your eyelids, looking down. The greatest meditators, because they've got very, very good concentration, they don't get distracted by the visual object. So they have their eyes open, because the light coming in helps keep their mind very sharp. But we'll just do be 30 minutes, and we're not going to. So if we haven't got good concentration, have your eyes closed. But beneath your eyelids, your eyes should be looking down, as if you're looking along your nose towards the ground. So that's the position. It's kind of taught over the centuries by the great meditators. Settle into that, and then forget about it, because your body, like I said, your body doesn't meditate. So what we're going to do is, again, like we did last week, meditation on Tara. There's different kinds. Some concentration meditation is one thing, is training yourself to stay focused. This one is you're using your creative imagination. You're using your discursive thought. You're using your thinking. That doesn't mean it's not meditation. We're a bit convinced that meditation means no thoughts, which is very naive. There's different kinds of meditation, different ways of familiarizing our mind. This is the meaning of the word meditate in Tibetan. We're familiarizing our mind here. We're familiarizing our mind here with these, with the Buddha Tara, which is just like a mirror image of our potential. So she represents, all the Buddhas have all the same qualities, but each is like a different representation of different qualities that we're trying to cultivate. So here, there's 3 essential qualities of the Buddha. One is wisdom, one is compassion. Look, the compassion to want to help others, the wisdom to know how, and then there's the power to do so, action energy, confidence. And this is Tara. Confidence, optimism, courage, fearlessness, action energy, cut through the obstacles, make things happen. We all badly need that one. So if you're familiar with these meditations, fine. If not, just do your best. Imagine in front the embodiment of all the qualities of an enlightened mind, love and compassion and wisdom, but this particular one of energy, action energy. So she's sitting in like on a lotus, like all the you see in the pictures. She's sitting on a multicolored lotus in the sky in front of us. Her left leg is like in meditation posture, but her right leg is out, resting lightly on another little multicolored lotus. Like in action, she's ready to hop up, to act, to help, to be of benefit. She's in the Bodhisattva style. We're familiar with this, not the monk style. This is from Tantra. Radiantly beautiful. Everything's made of light. So she's got green light body. Green is like action energy. And the female one is often depicted as action. Quick, sharp action. Get on with it, cut through the nonsense. And her face is just utterly beautiful, loving, full of love and compassion and kindness. And if you have a spiritual teacher, a lama, mentor, spiritual mentor, you think it's their mind manifesting as Tara, solely for your benefit, to show you how you can become, to show you your potential. She's like a mirror image of your potential, sitting in the sky in front of you. And as you can see in the statues and the pictures, this is the Bodhisattva style, not the monk style. So she's kind of gorgeous, beautiful kind of rainbow colored clothing in the bottom part of her body and her legs. But basically, like in all these depictions, she's got nothing much on the top of her body, these gorgeous breasts. Everything's beautiful and radiant, vibrant, full of life. And then, of course, as you see in the pictures and statues, decorated in the kind of the royal style, the aristocratic style, with jewelry, her ears, her throat, upper arms, wrists, ankles. Her head, there's a 5-pointed kind of crown, like a tiara. Again, you see it in the statues. And the whole thing is made of light, radiantly beautiful, full of energy. And think of her as a mirror image of your potential. Her hands, her right hand on her right knee, fingers on her, resting, her palm pointing out in like this gesture or mudra of kind of giving. And it's resting on her right knee, fingers up. And her thumb and ring finger are holding the stem of a blue, like a blue lotus flower, blue upala flower, that blooms at her right ear. And her left hand at her heart, fingers pointing up. And the mudra, every time I say it, I forget. The 3 jewels, I can't remember, it doesn't matter. And then she's holding the stem of a blue upala flower with her thumb and ring finger that blooms at her left ear. So just do your best to imagine this. But the key thing, of course, is not just to think she's some pretty green lady, but to understand the meaning. It's like a language. It's a visual language. If you see letters written on a piece of paper, you might see a pretty shape, but you have to know the meaning. So here the meaning, the overt meaning is this action energy, based completely on compassion and wisdom. Action, get things done, courage, fearlessness. Because you see, there's nothing we can't conquer. There's nothing we can't fix. There's nothing we can't do. Some things we can't fix, but we can do something with our mind. This is the key thing, making our minds optimistic, fearless, courageous, so we can handle whatever life brings us. So just think now, at her brow, there's a white Om, just imagine. At her throat, a red R. And at her heart, in the center of her chest, a blue Hong. These represent the enlightened body, speech, and mind. So now you imagine from that blue hong, radiant beams of light go out to all the 10 directions, up, down, north, south, east, west, northeast, northwest, etc. The whole universe. And what it does is hook the energy of the actual Taras, all the beings who've become Buddha already, all the energy of their body, speech, and mind, the enlightened energy of their body, speech, and mind. It hooks that energy. And this blue light then comes back from all these 10 directions, containing the energy of all the Taras in the universe, and absorbs back into the hung at her heart. And she becomes now the embodiment, even more radiant, more marvelous, the embodiment of all the Taras in the universe. Zahong Bam Ho. They become non-dual. So now, imagining out of her incredible, trying to imagine love and compassion for you. It's hard to us to imagine this. It sounds so abstract. That's the energy of a Buddha. There's no ego left. There's no separate sense of self. There's no delusions. There's only virtue. There's only goodness. There's only wisdom. There's only infinite empathy with the suffering of all beings. So from her brow, she sends these radiant, from the white Om, radiant laser beams of white light that penetrate your throat, your brow, completely filling it. And totally, first of all, totally eradicating all the nonsense of your body, if there's sickness and problems and difficulties and heaviness and whatever, totally eradicating all that pain and sickness. And then crucially, eradicating all the karmic imprints in your mind from any harm you've ever done this life and previous lives to harm sentient beings. Things you've done with your body, to harm others. Killed. Maybe we had an abortion one time, or maybe we killed the fish or the creatures or our pets or the animals, the ants, the rats, the cockroaches. Anything we've ever done, all the killing, the harming we've done with our bodies, stealing, cheating on our partners sexually, misusing our bodies to harm others, think of it, based on delusions. All of the imprints of all of this totally eradicated. Anything your things you hold to have a burden in, carrying like a burden that you've done in the past, disappeared. The things with your body, stealing you've done, taking things that aren't given. All of this, the imprints totally eradicated, full of this blissful white light. So delighted. And now Lama Tara so compassionately sends from her throat, the red R at her throat, radiant laser beams of red light that penetrate your throat and purify all the nonsense of our speech. This is a big one for us. Like I say, we mightn't go around raping and killing too many people, but our speech, wow, we do such nonsense. All the rabbiting on about nothing, all the stuff that we say that isn't true, even if we not consciously lie. Think about this. We speculate. We're so eager to give the answer, we'll say this, I heard this and I read this and this is right and that's wrong. And we don't even know what we're talking about, just misleading people and messing up our own minds. The harsh speech, abusing people. And then bad mouthing behind backs, our favorite activity. So who do you think we're harming? Besides other beings, who do you think we are harming? This is the point. It's ourselves. Confusing our minds, making us stressed out, feeling guilty and anxious about it. So all the negativity, just purifying all the nonsense right now of our speech and all the negativity since beginning of this time, the harm we've done with our speech to sentient beings. Totally eradicated, full of this radiant red light. And all the suffering as a result of it. For example, if people don't believe your words, it's because you've lied in the past. People don't trust your words, don't care about your words, have no interest. It's because of rabbiting on about nothing. We have this suffering. Your words have no power. People don't trust you, have no interest in your words. This is from negative speech in the past. All of this purified, imagine, full of this blissful red light. So now from her heart, Lama Tara so compassionately sends radiant laser beams of blue light that enter your heart and fill you completely. And this time purifying your mind, the source of all the nonsense. What's that mean? Well, it's for, purifying the ego grasping, this misconception of a separate self, which gives rise to attachment to get what that self wants, which gives rise to the panic attack of aversion, irritation, upset, annoyance, anxiety, anger, depression. They're all aspects of aversion when it doesn't get what it wants. And then all the other dramas, purifying the depression, the anxiety, the worries, the fears, the jealousy, the resentment, the low self-esteem. We're all familiar with this. This is what drags us down. This is what makes us so much suffering. And this is the basis of why we do things with our body and speech to harm others. This is the source of all the suffering. So can you imagine it totally eradicated? If it's possible, try and imagine no anger, no attachment, no low self-esteem, no depression, no anxiety, no hopelessness, no fears. Try and imagine, full of this radiant, blissful blue light. And of course, all the imprints of all the negativity since the beginning of this time, totally eradicated, full of this blissful blue light. What a relief. So again, Lama Tara so compassionately this time sends the white light again to your brown, this time filling you with all the marvelous qualities. You've removed all the rubbish, removed all the karmic imprints from the harm you've ever done since beginning this time with your bodies, and now filling us with this marvelous potential. Even just think that this body right now, full of the potential to only be of benefit to others. Imagine you can't possibly harm others with your body. Not possible. Imagine this. And whoever sees you, looks at you, touches you, smells you, tastes you, is benefited just by your presence. And of course, long term, full of the marvelous potential, this white light filling us with the potential when we're Buddhas to manifest in countless bodies throughout universes to be of benefit to others. That's the job of a Buddha. Full of this amazing potential, this blissful white light. Our own potential. Imagine it. And right now, whatever you do with your body, think of it. It'll be beneficial. Incredible. So marvelous. And full of bliss and bliss, the body feeling blissful. No heaviness, light, radiant, blissful. This is our potential. Now from her throat, Lama Tara so compassionately sends from this red this radiant beams of red light that fill us completely, that fill us with the main thing, the greatest gift of the Buddha, the main thing of the Buddha is the power of speech. Think you've got this now, such that any sound you utter, even your laugh, even just saying good morning, will benefit sentient beings, calm their pain. Just your voice will be soothing. Whatever you say will help them lessen their burdens. cause them happiness. Can you imagine this? And any of the words you say. So this is the greatest gift of the Buddha. This is what we need. We need the power of speech, full of this marvelous potential. And you get this from 1, being silent, 2, saying mantras, and doing things like this, doing these meditations, full of this blissful potential to be of benefit to others with our speech. Now Lamatara so compassionately sends radiant laser beams of blue light from the blue hung at her heart that enter us, and this time fill us. Now the delusions have all gone. What is think about this logically. What is left in the mind? There's no anger, no attachment, no jealousy, no fears, no limitations. There are only the virtues. These are our true nature. There's only infinite love, compassion, empathy, kindness, wisdom that sees things as they are. Fearlessness is joy, happiness. This is the nature of these virtues, and it's the nature of our mind when the delusions have all gone. But this also the infinite wisdom that sees things as they are, full of this marvelous potential. Which then, of course, is the basis of only ever doing anything with our body and speech that will be beneficial to others. There's not a possibility to do anything else. Imagine this. This radiant blue light filling us. And now one more time, Lamatara sends the 3 together. White to the brow, red to the throat, blue to the heart. And this time, now we become Buddha. We've removed even the subtlest imprints from all the delusions from our mind. We are now Buddha. We now become Tara. Imagine this. 3 together. So think now we're Tara. What's my job? Nothing but to benefit others. There's no choice. That's it. So just imagine the whole universe full of sentient beings. All the enemies, friends, and strangers. There's no 4th category. Right in front, the ones that are the object of your aversion. To the left, your beloveds. And to the right and everywhere else. Above, below, behind, to the sides, in front. All sentient beings of all the realms, but in the form of humans, which is the form they can get enlightened in. Just imagine the whole universe full, which it is anyway, of these unbelievably suffering sentient beings, lost. Not just not knowing the true nature of reality, but not knowing why we suffer, not knowing cause and effect. This is the greatest reason to have such compassion for all sentient beings. No idea that what we do, we say, and we think are what cause our suffering and cause our happiness. We think it's all out there. So we're out of our brains, totally suffering. And now we're Tara, what choice? To benefit. That's our job. So from our hearts, imagine trillions of tiny green Taras go out, enter the hearts of all the enemies, friends, and strangers, taking away all their pain, all their suffering, giving them everything they need, and then turning them into Tara as well. As we do this, as these billions of little Taras go out, blessing all the beings in the universe, we just sing the mantra a few times. The sound sound of these syllables that represent Tara verbally. And even right here, wherever we are, whoever hears it is blessed by it. Totally, as we sing this mantra, the sounds go out and rain down, blessing all these beings as they turn into Tara, taking away their suffering, giving them all their happiness and turning them into Tara. Om Tare Tu Tare Tu Re Swaha. 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 And as you say, silently imagining too, all continue to visualize all the beings becoming Tara, and even imagining too, because the sound is purifying you and your mind and your body, even though we're thinking we're Tara, you know. And whoever hears you all around benefited. Strongly wanting this. Om Tare 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 Om Tare 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 Om Tare Tare. So now you imagine all these trillions and trillions of Taras all dissolving into you. Well, no, first of all, I forgot about Tara. She's there above us. So still, imagine Tara now comes to our heart, our crown, and then to the crowns of every living being and dissolves into all of us. Imagine this. And then all the trillions and trillions of Taras around the universe all dissolve into you as well. So the energy of the Tara, body, speech, and mind of Tara, the energy of the body, speech, and mind of your Lama, and the energy of your body, speech, and mind, and everybody else's, all becomes one. Union, oneness, Mama Yeshi would say. Because when we realize the ultimate nature of how things are, there is no separate sense of self, quite literally. So imagining this, and then just imagining expanding to fill the universe. Completely blissful. No thoughts. No thoughts. Vast, blissful, radiant, clear. And then we can relax. So thinking this is 30 minutes, gone like a dream. It's like a second ago we said we'd start, and now we finish, isn't it? Well, this is life. This is how quickly it goes. So have a sense of urgency. Have a healthy sense of urgency to not want to waste every second. To use the mind. Use the mind. Have thoughts. Have Tara. Say Tara mantras. Have positive thoughts. Just put them in there. Every second, making the most of our life. So if we're in the morning, for most of us, we have the strong aspiration to use our speech perfectly today, to not badmouth, not just rabbit on about meaningless nonsense, not to say words that are untrue, not to abuse people, to watch your body and speech like a hawk for the sake of others. And then your mind, you watch that too. And that's it. Jang Chub Semchog, Rinpoche, Ma Panam Keguchig. Kepanyam Pa Me Pa Yang Gong Ne Gondu, Helba Sho Gewa Di Nudo Dag, Lama Sange Drobgyone, Drowa Chikang Marupa, Dei Sala Gurpa Sho. And delight. 30 minutes made use. Delightful. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, dearest man.